What's up, guys? It's the commish, Jay Maya, back with another gameplay video for you. We are going to get into some more tactics. If you count the last video about getting back on defense, this is kind of taking that idea and premise to the next level. And what I'm going to tell you and recommend is counterintuitive at first, but we'll get into the hows and whys in just a minute, and then hopefully we'll get it on video, and get some good looks at it. The first two things I'm going to tell you to do, and that are really going to take it to the next level, is to not use the sprint button and to not use the guard button. Now, of course, you want to use the sprint button if you get a steal and on a breakaway, or if you're trying to get to a loose ball. Of course, you want to use it then. The guard button, however, you really don't want to use it. It is not your friend probably 80% of the time. And so I'll get a little deeper in, but first, I'm going to kind of get into the cards we've got. In Season 1, you could go to the database, and every card had about 60 or so hidden stats. Everything from being a go-to guy, to hustle, to clutch, court vision, tenacity, shooter's mentality, shooting touch, mental toughness. There were several awareness categories, different things like that. In Season 2, we couldn't go anywhere and see if these cards had them, so there's no way to confirm or deny it. Same thing this season. But I am here to tell you that those stats definitely exist, and I can tell from the gameplay. And so, as far as the sprint button, that was brought up by one of my league mates, in fact, about not using it past half court. Now, I've taken that to the other extreme and try not to use it at all. And the reason for that is because, unless you get a rebound and find the outlet and push the ball ahead quickly, if you just bring it up, your guys are going to be getting ready to set up in the half court, and then here you come sprinting past them, launching a three, and they're not even set up to rebound or anything. Then the guard button on defense, that's a little more detailed. So when you're not using the guard button, the AI kind of falls asleep. He doesn't feel like he's being pressured, doesn't set off the red flags and the alarms. But if you're sitting there holding the guard button, then he's kind of on guard, if you will. So what you want to do is just stay in front. Now, I will tell you, when you make the transition from using the guard button and moving to moving without the guard button, your player is going to be all over the place. I had mine running all over the place, right past the player I was trying to defend. Takes a few games and maybe a little longer to get used to it, because it is different. But all of this comes because I've said this in my video several times. I want to do to the AI what the AI does to me. And so part of that is, you're draped all over a guy, you got the guard button pressed, and he still hits a turnaround fadeaway three in your face. But yet you can run down court, get a good, nice open look, and the guy just kind of throws his hands up and it says contested shot. And so I wanted to get to the bottom of it, and so this is kind of something I've come up with. So you don't want to use the guard button. You want to just stay engaged. Now, the few times I will go ahead and tell you before we jump in that you do want to use the guard button is if your defender's trying to back you down. You do want to go ahead and hit the guard button so that way you're ready to engage him, because he's already engaging you. So I'll try and call some of this out. I wanted to kind of explain it before I got into gameplay, so that way I could kind of focus and we could get some good examples. So we're going to jump right in. We get a 78 defensive coach. I actually like playing the defensive lineup. I like using their aggressiveness against them. Easier to get open looks and that sort of thing, if you ask me. So typically on the inbound, I always run the same play. Try and run this little motion to get the power forward a nice open look. The defender's going to close, and with any luck, you drill it. So go ahead and get back on defense. Now, you'll notice I am going to use this guard button as little as possible. We get behind the three-point line, kind of set the D, and then we get ready. Now, if the point guard wants to sit back there and wait, kind of jump in and out at him. Don't let him sit back there and get comfortable, but don't stay overextended too long. And then you'll see every time we get a chance, we're going to... Now, I don't know about you guys, but usually that shot goes down for the AI. But you notice I didn't guard him, so he doesn't get things like shooting under pressure, clutch, that sort of thing. Now, not too worried about what I do on offense. I want to show the principles. Still getting a little bit of lag. I hope that doesn't carry through in the video. But the principle is what I want you to see. So we just keep switching players. Nobody's hitting the guard button. We want them to kind of be relaxed, so that way we can be ready. He got me on the up and under, but because we didn't have the guard button, he bangs it off the rim. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to explain it to you, but I think a lot of it is just they're clumsy. They're not on guard. They don't have their alerts raised, and so they don't make shots that they normally make with the guard button pressed. Just different things. So we get up on him, we get a nice steal. Once again, you'll see I haven't used the guard button. Now I'm on a breakaway, so I will sprint. Come on, we need Curry to get up and get back in his position. I'm going to use sprint just to get ahead and back in front, but then we're off of that. I'll rotate over. No guard button still. We'll still take our chances, our swipes here and there. We just want to stay in front at all times. Now, how many times do you see the up and under miss? So that's kind of what I mean. Now, it does kind of slow the game down some, but I'll tell you my thoughts on that. I'd rather win. Let's say you run up and down the court, you win 20-13. It's a +7 margin. Let's say you take your time, set your defense, and play it like this, and you win 9-2, +7 margin. I'd rather win a bunch of 9-2 matches because I know that the ceiling is a lot higher. You know, a couple shots go in, and it's 15-2, and just like that, you've got a great margin. Whereas if it's 20-13, unless you learn to play defense, your ceiling's set. So it's kind of how I feel about it. You'll notice we didn't guard him on the break. He gets a bucket. You know, sometimes that happens. I don't mind giving up a couple here and there. So here you'll see, there's our set from the very beginning where the power four is set up. I try and look for that because that's just good money. You want the defender, the AI, to close out, but you don't want to get them close enough to get you. So you see we get another rip, but not yet have I really had to use the guard button a whole lot. We don't want the AI to sit out there and get comfortable, so we will jump in and out from time to time. Here's where you got to rotate. You don't want to let them get loose on you in the first place, but we've got 2.3, so we're going to see if we can pull this off real quick. Oh, he rattles it home. So I'd rather win them all day, giving up 4 points. I think you got a lot better place to go. Even if you don't make as many shots, if you only give up 4 points, then you know there's a lot of room for improvement. So we'll jump into another game real quick. I'll just show you once again what I mean. Staying away from the guard button, staying off the sprint. That way you guys have a chance to get out and ahead of you, set up the half court. Even if you don't care what they're doing, it keeps the AI attached to them. That way you don't get doubled in the corner, different things. Lets you kind of dictate what happens to them as opposed to vice versa. Playing a shooting lineup, they won't be nearly as aggressive as the defensive lineup. So you're going to get a lot more open looks from the wings, in my experience, when you face that lineup. Love that play. That's a money shot. He makes 80-90% of those. So you'll see, we don't guard button. Just trying to stay in front. You might see me tap it every once in a while. For the most part, I'm off of it, though. See, the guys are all in position. We get good rebounds. And I think everybody knows what it feels like to be draped on the defender and he hit that turnaround on you. So And he still hits them occasionally. But set the defense, get back, and then try and stay in front. Take your shots. And if you get a fast break, please don't say, Jeremiah told me not to sprint. Sprint and dunk it, baby. So get behind the line, set it up, get in front. Still no guard button. Of course, Shaq wants to hit the up and under. But if those are only two we give up, I'll let him have it. Now, you'll get that wing shot a lot against the shooting lineup. Because they don't close like the defensive lineup does, you'll get an extra, few feet of space to where you can be ready to pull it just about any time you want to. So we stay in position. Don't let him sit out there and just dribble time off. Get out there, jump out, pressure him, then jump back in. Here's the wing shot, going to be open. Kawhi closes, gets it in his face. So this is kind of exactly what I wanted to get on film. Glad we got it. So he's going to stand out there, dip out there. Here comes the pick. Go under it. No guard button. Now you're going to have to rotate at some point and hope that you get a miss just like that. Because if you use the guard button, he's going to make a bucket. So you got to not guard and rotate. Knew that. Kind of rushed that shot. Now they're out on the break. Here's where it gets tough, is when they're in transition and nobody's matched up. Not a whole lot you can do. But we're still in really good shape. Lots of time, up 10. Now this is one of those, I just like to dribble in and out. Creates a little bit of separation. Gives you that half step that you need to get a good shot off. Doesn't take that much time to set up. Set the defense. Now when they come right up to you, I love it, because then you don't have to extend and you can just stay right on them. Come on, Steph. Boy, Steph is all over the place this possession. A little early with it, but we'll take the defensive stop. So, we're still in really good shape. Oh, they called a shooting foul. Okay. I think I've got to shoot one free throw opportunity this season. If you haven't yet shot free throws, the shot meter moves a lot slower. So just FYI, if you ever find yourself in that position, the shot meter is going to move slower. So don't release it early and clank it. You won't get many, and you'll be mad if you miss those few that you do get to take. So we're going back to this wing because it's going to be open. He was a little closer than I would have liked, but he did close. And there's again is another chance to bring up those hidden stats. Oh man. Give and go, but gives us the last possession. Hopefully we'll make this bucket and we still end up with a plus 15. But I've been a lot more consistent this way. I've really been happy with this next step, this next layer. I think it's going to help if we can find that consistency all the time. Oh, we missed it, but we still got a plus 12 margin. So, guys, I hope that helped. If there's any questions or anything, leave it in the comments or hit me up in the Kick group. But that's pretty much it. Try and give it a shot, see what you think. It's not going to be a smooth transition, letting go of that guard button. But I think it's really going to help. So, see you on the next video, guys.